Okay guys, I know that a lot of you have been waiting to find out about Happy Jack, and so I have some news. It's not the best news, but it's not going to be the worst case. So we had Happy all set up to have the hypospadia fixed. For those who don't know what hypospadia is, it just means that was born with a congenital defect where the penis hadn't been formed over by the sac, and everything was wide open. So we thought, okay, we're gonna put the shaft back in, sew it up, and that's going to be the end of it. And we got a quote of around, we were looking around the $1,700. Unfortunately, that has now gone out the window. Don was actually out there with Happy Jack and noticed that Happy peed from the back end. Now, obviously, peeing from the back end is quite unusual. If it was a girl, they'd be squatting down and it'd be hitting the ground. So we were just thinking, well, it's not coming out of the shaft because it's not going through the front leg and also not hitting the ground. So anyway, we took Happy to a vet that to go and see Martin over at Motto Farm, because Martin is the go-to vet in anything wacky and crazy and unusual, and he's quite known for that out in the rescue community. So we booked in to see Martin, and we went over and saw Martin. Martin finds it very, very interesting. So not only has got hypospadia, but his chromosomes have mixed up. So he's not classed as a hermaphrodite. He doesn't have the private parts for the girl. His chromosome has created a urethra tube near the back end. So now, for those who follow the farm, you would have seen Rover,
who was our dog,
who was one of our dogs that Luke and Sam had to turn into a girl virtually as well, because he had some major issues going on. Unfortunately, the news is the same for us.
Didn't he stay a boy?
He might have been.
I think he's still a boy.
Okay.
Rover's a boy.
But
they removed the girl inside.
That's right,
yeah.
That's right. Well, in this case, what's going to have to happen, because Happy is peeing from the rear, there is nothing coming out of the shaft. It doesn't work.
It doesn't even have a hole, you said.
Doesn't even have a hole, which is why it's not going very well. It's very bright red. We have to lubricate it. It's quite painful for him. He's quite discomfort. You know, it's a wonder he hasn't caught it and done some major damage. So the first step is we have to get that penis off him, and that is what Martin is about to do. So he's booked in on Thursday, on the 13th.
Just to have that amputated.
We're going to do a lot. It's going to be a very big operation for Happy. So the penis is coming off. They're going to sew up all the openings and close him back up. And we're going to have to remove his testicles and sew up the ball sacks as well.
So he's going to look like a female.
He's going to be turned into a female. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that Don always wanted to call him Smiley, because
she didn't like Happy Jack.
Smiling. And we've got some beautiful photos, and we'll give them to Janine to attach why he's called Smiley. So Happy Jack is going in for a very, very big operation. He's going to have his private parts amputated, and then there's going to have to be making sure that the urethra tube is working well, that he has an opening to pee properly, make sure that it's all cleaned out and there's no risk of getting infections and stuff. It's going to be a big operation, but it's also going to be a very big cost. it's going to be at least, Martin has given me a quote of at least minimum about 3 to 3.5. That's the minimum. We feel, so what we have asked is to be desexed at the same time. So we think we're now looking at about a $5,000 window of what we're going to need, because that is only a guesstimate right now.
So I think Rover's might have been a lot dearer.
I think Rover's was
like a 20 or something.
$20,000 operation. I think we're looking around $5,000 to $6,000. Now, we're going to aim for 5.
Yep.
So, our biggest thing is that we hope that he's strong enough to make it through.
I was going to ask how, risky
is it? It is a risky surgery.
Yeah.
You will see some video of Martin having a look at him at the vet clinic. And you'll also see some of the vet nurses checking Happy Jack out at the van, because it is so unusual. This case is unusual. Ours is slightly different to Rover's.
Well, Rover looked normal, like a boy.
Yes.
He was not acting normal.
I'm sure if we took Happy Jack down to one of the specialist hospital, we'd be looking at $20,000 to $30,000.
Which is where Rover was.
But Martin is prepared to give it a go. But we need to have a window there of around $5,000. So we are going to put the fundraiser back up. We have achieved the $1,700. I think it's actually at $2,000.
Yes.
So I think it was $2,000 that we got. So what we need to do is try and raise another $3,000 before Thursday. So we will put up a separate post. So guys, if you could please share that. This little boy, seems so funny to say.
This little girl.
Our little baby.
Because really, he's a girl.
Yeah, really.
It's not a boy at all.
Yeah. Got all the boy parts, got the testicles, got the shaft.
Yeah, but none work, so.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting when they open up to see whether or not there's ovaries. Martin doesn't think there's ovaries, and because there's no ovaries, we don't think he's a hermaphrodite, which is what Rover was.
Yes.
Yeah. What this is a chromosome mix-up, deformity, congenital defect. Things went skew with when the baby was being made. Whether or not it's interbreeding or something like that, we'll never know.
No, but we're putting a spot stop to that anyway.
We are going to stop that,
So
and
he
we
won't
are
breed.
going to fix. Now, this poor dog has been living in pain and discomfort.
And people would have just been eat by him.
Exactly, yeah. And, well, that was quite,
Clear by the people.
clear by the way they dragged him through the house and handed it to a ranger and wouldn't tell the ranger anything. The poor dog didn't even have a name. Didn't even have a name. Now, I've spoken to people who know them, and I asked them, did she ever call it a name? They said, no, the dog had no name. Now, how sad is that?
Yeah.
When you can't even give nurture an animal and give it a name,
Because he's this very sweet dog, whereas Rover had issues. It was hurting his brain, I suppose.
Yeah.
He was so confused with how he felt.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
Smiley isn't that way.
Smiley is the type of dog that once you give him a little bit of attention, he's just so happy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know what? It can be just walking past and say, hey, bud.
Yeah.
And he's happy. He's just happy for some sort of an interaction. And I'm guessing he probably craved that. The only interaction I got from the person was to get told to F off.
Yes.
So, beautiful dog always ends up with the most shittiest people.
Well, it's kind of funny when you think we had Dippet and Smiley playing together and they had similar owners.
100%. Dippet's owner attacked me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Smiley's owner told me to F off.
Yeah, so maybe they're friends, I don't know, but they're same
God.
background, that's
But
for sure.
you know what? They will never appreciate what they've lost.
No, because both of those dogs are so beautiful.
Yeah. And in regards to where Smiley came from, we already had their dog Sarge before. You know, that's just the same frustrating thing that they just keep acquiring dogs because they think it's their God-given right, and yet they treat the animals this
Probably
way.
got another one there already.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But anyway, please share our posts because Happy Jack is going to become Little Smiley.
Yay.
So he has got a small penis there, he has got a small Oz in the penis,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got a urethral opening up here.
Oh, okay, so he is a hermaphrodite?
Well, he's got some funky chromosome stuff going on, so he's not a hermaphrodite, but he's got some congenital deformities in his system, because these are testicles.
Yeah.
Okay. But as what's called the neural tube, which is the tubes that close for development of the genital system, as it's formed, it's made a bit of a mistake. And we've got an open urethra here. Good news is it doesn't seem to be bothering him functionally as far as a happy life is concerned. But
Yeah.
what we can do for him time of castration is we could actually amputate what's left of that penis, get rid of all this preputial stuff here,
Yeah.
turn that all into normal skin,
Yeah.
and then he would look just like a girl, really.
Well, that's what I said too. I thought that we'd probably end up having to turn him into a girl.
Yeah, yep. We can girlify him, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Martin. We're just like, yep, we're going to have to get him over to Martin.
Yeah, definitely doable. Yeah. Interesting one. Very interesting.
Yes, we don't get to see these things very often, do
No,
we?
we do not.
But you're very well known, Martin, for taking the unusual and being able to do something with them.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a good thing. A lot of people in the rescue thing, like, okay, it needs to go to Martin.
It's weird. You get it to Martin.
You get a reputation for the weird and wackies.
Good wacky stuff. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You can see some of the girls from the vet clinics are very curious about little Jack's body parts. Yes. Look at him. He's on display for the whole world. And then if you turn him around, he's actually got a urethra under his tail. Oh! Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gee, there's a hole. Go, Smiley! Oh, opposite directions.
Opposite direction.
Whee!
Happy Jack's there. Happy, come on. It's coming.
Oh, in the middle of it.
Nearly got peed on.
Yeah. That's because Smiley doesn't understand how a boy does that. Oh, they're instant best friends. Yeah, I think. Oh, my camera can't do both. Oh, we know Dippet likes a toy. Oh, okay. had a run, have they? Nope. Oh, greyhounds. They're like our greyhounds. Yeah, the greyhounds are already tied. Whoa!
Settle.
Dip, it's all love. All love.
Oh, he felt it. He's just a body slammer, the white one.
He is, he's trying to take him out. Smiley boy.
No.
Smiley girl.
No.
Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. Good boy, hello.
Go Dumbo and go.
Settle down.